everyone, it's Levi Jade. Yes, it's been a while, dare I say maybe over a year. Anxiety is real. Posting videos is probably not my forte, but because I kind of, put myself in it by asking what people would like and people have actually asked for advice, I do kind of have to make this video. Hopefully we'll be making more videos in the future too, but like I said, anxiety is real, but I can only try my best. And yeah, I've just felt I'd do it, no makeup and so there's like nothing to lose here. And when you stress out so much you don't care about it anymore, that's where I'm at now. So without further ado, what is this video about? This is an advice video for assistant psychologists, split into two or maybe one video, it depends how long it is. It's basically an application advice video and an interview advice video. So the first half would be your actual application, your CV, etc., before how to get into the interview process, and then the second half will be the actual interview itself. So that's basically what this video is. Hopefully it won't be too long. I'm going to try and be concise and to the point, and I apologise because I can see it myself. There's going to be rings because I'm reading off what I've written, so I need to see what I'm doing, and unfortunately one may say I'm legally blind, but we'll go with it because we have no choice. So I just want to start off by saying I'm going to mention a lot of my honorary assistant psychologist experience in this. It sounds fancy, but it just basically means voluntary, and even to get that honorary experience, like to get onto that, required an interview, and I didn't have any, I only had my support working experience and previous stuff to go off. So it's like you're still starting from somewhere. Everyone's in a different level, and the last thing you want to do is compare yourself to other people because everyone's different. And another word of encouragement I'd say is that yes, clinical psychology is very competitive, but the need for psychologists and therapists, psychotherapists is very immense, and the mental health services as it is are like in dire straits, so the need for us is a lot. So although it is competitive, there's still room for everyone. Also, disclaimer that I cannot guarantee this advice will, land you an interview per se, but it's what I've noticed has helped me. And to be honest, I don't see myself as someone that's got all these privileges. I've had to work a lot for everything I've had. I've had to work really hard, not just claiming anyone else, but I just feel like a normal person. So if you feel like a normal, ordinary person like me that has to do just a bit more grinding, let's say, it's possible for everyone, and I hope these tips help you. Who am I? What have I done so far? Where am I going? So I studied psychology, Bachelor of Science at the University of Sheffield. I got a 2-1, 67% average. The revision I did, I don't know how we got there, but God pulled me through and I got a 2-1. So immediately after I finished, I luckily got my job as a support worker in a CAMS ward, so it's a low secure unit for adolescents, and that was also quite intense in terms of like interview process, etc. Support working for about 6 months. We go from July 2019 to December 19. I did the honorary interviews and got that post. So I was doing my support working and 1 day a week honorary. So yeah, then I got the honorary, started that in January 2020 with my support working, September 2020, where I kind of stopped the honorary because I thought I was going to do a forensic masters and ended up dropping out of that, which I'll get to. So I did that for about a month. As I'm doing this, imagine I'm applying for all these jobs and getting rejected because I think it's just everything we all have to go through. But anyways, December 2020, I managed to get an interview for my current AP post, and I just started my AP post last month, January 2021. So I think that's a quick roadmap of my job profile, very brief, and I'll just get into my advice now, but that's my own path into my AP post. Experience. If you're a student watching this, I would advise you gather as much volunteering experience as possible. Understandably, it is lockdown Hopefully when lockdown eases, there'll be more volunteering opportunities, but there are ways you can virtually volunteer as well, like call lines. I used to volunteer for SHAT, which is a 24-hour text line service. Also, if you're volunteering, I just recommend that you volunteer for things that mean something to you, because if you're not volunteering for something that's meaningful to you, you won't be giving your best for that role you're doing. Because it's the same thing with working. You want to work where you know that means something to you, and you want to work there because you won't be helping the people you're volunteering for or working for if you're just there because you need to be there. And in terms of experience in general for everybody, is you want to have person-centered roles, jobs where you're working directly with people, because at the end of the day, as a clinical psychologist, you're going to be working with people, so you need them people working skills like communication. This doesn't just stop at healthcare. This could be all your previous retail experience. I never managed to get a retail job. I feel like they're very hard to get. So any kind of job that's hard working as well, long hours that show resilience, and also that you're working with people. I was a door supervisor, I think they're called. I don't really look like, you know, scary or anything, but yeah, no, I have it in everything. I didn't have much, but so long as you've got experience working with people, you can kind of get in through the door and get more people-facing jobs, because you learn in every single job you get. So get people-facing jobs. I think that's my point for this section. Anyway, person-centered roles, volunteering either virtually or face-to-face, and make sure it's meaningful to you and it's what you want to do. We're going to go to the basics, which is your CV and your cover letter. So, careers advisors, I think you should definitely use them when it comes to your CV and cover letters. I didn't do my masters for very long, but we had a career advisor session and they were very helpful when it came to my CV, and it was just nice to have peer feedback as well. So I'd definitely take advantage of any CV workshops or cover letter workshops, because to be honest, I don't think anyone thinks about cover letters, but they are really important, I feel like. So your CV can be in either chronological or skill-based order, but I'd say put your CV in a skill-based order, particularly when you've got quite a bit of experience, because you want the recruiters to see, because they're going to skim through, they're going to look through so many applications. You want your most relevant experience to be at the top, the first things they see, as relevant work experience / relevant voluntary experience, and then have additional work experience, voluntary experience. So you can separate the two sections, because everything you gather while you're working is valuable, but the way you order it, you want to just think about how you're ordering it as well. Obviously, standard, keep your CV to 2 pages max. Especially with this job, no one's got time to read a lot, so make sure you're concise. On that note as well, if you're going to have an introductory paragraph, try and keep it to no more than 3 lines, because again, they're reading through it very fast, they're skimming. So you don't want your introductory paragraph to be taking a lot of the space you need to write your experience. Okay, this one's important, and I also feel like we get told this and we just look past it because we know it's long to do. But you want to make sure you're reading the job description, but a lot of the times I'd just be applying for these jobs and not reading the job description. You need to read the job description, but annotating really helped me, because I could then put this in my CV, in my cover letter, to make sure that I'm hitting these job descripts bullet points. I'll quickly put here, like for the job I've got now, how I annotated, I highlighted, I annotated, I proper studied it. And the reason why I highlighted and annotated was for every bullet point I wrote, what experience do I have that proves I tick off that point? What do I have that ticks off that point? And I'll write it down so that I'm remembering it, because when you write, that consolidates information, a bit of psychology. So yeah, you can see there that I've annotated it heavy. And what you want to do is make sure your CV is directly hitting these job descriptions, because that's what we're comparing it against. It wasn't until I actively looked at the language they used and paraphrased it and applied my experience to the job description exactly. I don't think it, until I was doing that, I swear it wasn't until I was doing that I was actually getting interviews. So why not make your CV tick these descriptors? And because it is AP, you will find a lot of them will say being resilient, working with people with mental health difficulties, and good statistical knowledge, etc. Like standard things you definitely have, but make sure in your CV you're actually saying that as well, and how your experience is showing that too. So go off the job descriptions. Make sure you're writing active words as well. Make sure they're active, so it's like you're actually doing something. So you don't want to be like, oh, I did a group, did a CBT group. What you want to write instead is, I co-facilitated a CBT group. It just sounds better, and it's more fixed to the job description, so they in their head they're ticking off that you have that, and hopefully gets you to interview. So to summarise that bit, skill-based order CV, 2 pages max, active action words, and making sure your bullet points are not word for word but paraphrasing and coming off your job description. So you want to start applying now. Wait, there's a whole cover letter thing, and I know no one likes cover letters. I don't like cover letters, and every time you update your CV you have to update your cover letter. It is really annoying housekeeping, but it is really important. So what actually is a cover letter? That's a good question, because sometimes I don't even know myself. What I feel like a cover letter is like a mini personal statement, about 1.5 pages in length, and almost like an extension of your CV. So like a bit more fuller, but again, you don't want it to be too long. But my own personal cover letter is like a mini personal statement. It's a bit of an extension of your CV, because there's only so much you can put in your CV. So in your personal statement you can add like little extra bits that you feel are important and are in the job description too. You can also add in some reflections, like showing that you're being reflective. I'll get to being reflective later, but yeah, that's what you want to be showing in your cover letter. So my cover letter started with an introduction, aspirations, university attainment, experience with my volunteering with Shout, my support working and honorary, and briefly describing each role. It's very brief and like in chronological order. So that's what the first bit was. The second paragraph, I ended on the honorary, so it flowed well into the second paragraph, which is about my honorary experience, what I did, what I learned from it, what I hope to gain next. These are kind of reflective things to mention. What did you get out of your experiences? What do you hope to get in this job as well? Like how you want to improve, how you want to grow, and how have you already grown? Them kind of questions. You can tailor the where to the job post, like where you want to go. So let's say you're applying for an adult post and you only have experience with children. That's an easy way of reflecting, because you can then say how you want to work with a different clientele and improve your skills with working with different people, etc, etc. And then it flows to my last paragraph. So my last paragraph is like other. So this is where I try to hit all the other bits of the job description, such as resilience, working long hours. What else? How do I manage my stress? How do I organise my time? Time management is so important for where I'm working right now. So all these things that you might just like shrug off, and you're only looking at the clinical skills. These other skills as well are really important. So yeah, can you run a group, but can you manage your time? Can you have the patience to deal with difficult situations? These are all really important, and you want to make sure you're mentioning this as well, not just your clinical experience. So to summarise, basic roadmap of everything in my introduction. Where do I want to go? Clinical psychology. Next paragraph is my clinical experience, bit of reflective practice in there. And then my last paragraph is all the other important skill sets you need. So other skill experiences. Then to end, nice short ending, a deep reflection of who I am as a person, reflect on my own life experiences, because I've been through some things. So it's going to be different for everyone how you decide to end it, but just reflecting on who I am as a person. I hope that helps. I think the main thing to take for cover letters is to shape it to the job description and have a nice order to it, and it doesn't have to be over a page and a half. I can't come and die either, so I'm not going to spend a long time like writing things. So page and a half is what I've done, and that was okay for me. Feel free to ask other people too, because then you'll get a gauge of what a cover letter should be like. There's no set way either. Like I think I mentioned, you're going to be redrafting this a lot. Every time you get a new job, you're going to have to update it because you'll have learned something new, something valuable, and you're going to have to put it in there. I still need to update mine now already, but you know, make sure you're keeping them up to date. It's like housekeeping that we all have to do, and it is long, but it's needed to be done. We love a summary, so to summarize the summary: skill-based order CV, tailor your CV to the job description. For your cover letter, expand on your CV for your cover letter and make sure to add some reflection into this cover letter. And yeah, I think that's a summary of your CV and cover letter. So we're going to go to being reflective. What is that? What on earth is being reflective? Yeah, it's a good question. Hey, so basically this video is getting kind of long now, so I've decided to split the video into 3. This first section is application. I'll cover being reflective in a shorter second video, and the final video will be covering interviews. So let's see what happens. Cool. Bye.